going on, guys? We're at the Albright residence. The insurance company paid for the soft metal flashing and the valley flashing. Obviously the valleys are a high leak point, so we're going to do it completely away. We're going to do it on the flat back porch. We're just here to test the repairability of the shingles. 9 times out of 10 these shingles are repairable and we can go ahead and do the repair. The 1 out of 10 time the shingles get damaged throughout the repair process and we're going to be in need of a full replacement. So all I'm here to do is simulate that repair. We're going to be using a manufacturer-approved flat bar and a manufacturer-approved hammer. First thing I'm going to go ahead and do is mark off our control area. So the first area is just a shingle that's completely unmolested during this entire process. Then we're going to go ahead and start our shingle that we will do our repair with. So I'm going to choose this shingle here. And I'll go ahead and get started. First thing we have to do is unseal the shingle. So what we do is we have to run our flat bar under the shingle to unseal the sealant strips. Just like that. And of course the shingle above it to get the nails above it. So the first thing we're going to do is start popping out these nails. Just a quick note, you can see how these shingles already are so brittle. I'm barely lifting it up with one finger and this shingle already delaminated. So the next time we get a windstorm, this shingle will completely fly off just because there's nothing holding it down, but we'll go ahead and keep going. So again, just gently lifting this. We're gonna stick our flat bar under there, pop out our nail. We're gonna be as delicate as possible to make sure we are unbiased as possible. We want a true reflection of the scope. Again, just gently lifting up these shingles. They're very, very brittle. Looking for our nails. This nail actually just pulled through just because of how brittle the shingle is. Move along. Same situation, nail pulled through. Just how brittle the shingle is. We're gonna go for our second row of nails, just the shingle above it. Just unsealing the shingles best we can. And then I'm barely lifting this up with one finger, 2 fingers. I just have to see where these nails are. Do an accurate repair. First row of the top row. Again, these nails just keep pulling through just because the shingle is so brittle. And gently lifting this up. Find our nails. The camera can capture it. I'm gonna try to pop out this shingle. Pop out the nail, and it's just so brittle. I have to reach below the shingle and grab out the nail. Let's see. One more. Same exact situation. This one actually pulled through. This is our control. One more. Pesky nail. The shingle should come out free. Pesky nail. Alright, so we have the shingle out. That's usually the easiest part, is getting the shingle out. What we're going to do is we're going to reinstall the shingle into the same exact place. Again, we're going to be as delicate as possible, as accurate as possible, line up everything here. We're going to go ahead and start with the top row of shingles using manufacturer-approved flat bar. And the first thing I have to do is lift up this shingle enough for my hammer to be able to strike the nail. As you can see here, I could barely lift it with one finger before it starts to delaminate. You can see this again, same thing. This teeth will never seal back down. Here we go. Again, have to get my fist under there to strike the hammer. I really have to get my hand under there. See, the shingle's already sticking up. There's a second nail hole. Also reusing the exact same nail hole so nothing will change. And then look, this tooth actually just completely fell off. So that's just some of the damage that will happen on a shingle that is this brittle and why repairs can't always be done. Gonna keep going again. Even with just half my fist, I still can't get my hammer under there. So I'm gonna have to lift up this a little bit more. Again, I can't even hold this nail here without the shingle coming up. One last nail on the top row. Again, can't even set the nail. To gently lift these shingles up to set the nail. Then I could actually get my hammer under there. All right, so a quick review. Shingles back in, everything looks uniform, same as it went in. Here's a great example of why some shingles can't be repaired. This shingle is actually still sticking up. It may look like there's a nail holding it or something like that, but it's completely just unsealed. Another thing here, you could come here and see this rip. Shingle actually ripped when I went to lift up the shingle to nail it. And obviously all these teeth are completely delaminated. This one actually came off, delaminated, delaminated, delaminated. And I'm sure I could do the same thing. So the top row is delaminated and the main row is delaminated. These shingles, it'll take a little bit for them to seal back down if they ever will. And then what we can do here is kind of wipe around a little bit, simulate wind, and show that the shingle could sustain some creasing. We'll come over here to our control. These teeth are completely sealed down. This is our area where we did not mess with the shingle. These teeth are completely sealed. There's absolutely no issues with any of these teeth. The shingles are even sealed down here. So I believe this repair test failed, not only for the 2 missing teeth, but for the rips and tears around the shingles. Thank you.